morning, everyone. Denise and Shelley and Colette and Angela and Margaret and Hassana and Crystal and Margaret and V. Oh, Joan, hello, Sally, Chris. I haven't got anybody on Facebook yet, and I'm sure you're there, so give me a sec while I just refresh. Oh, there you go. Hello, Linda. Janet, Leslie, good morning to you. How the devil are you? Glorious day here. Lovely and sunny and spring-like, and we've got daffodils are blooming and snowdrops coming out. It's like it's spring. We're only just in February. Loving it. Hello, Anne. Hello, Carol. Sorry if I miss anybody. Chris is in the New Forest. Hello to you. Morning, Maria. And Linda and Marilyn. We're going to do a little bit of raggy quilting this morning, but I'm going to make it into a cushion cover because I thought that might be a little bit different. So you may have seen the technique before, you may not, but it's really, really easy to do. So we'll have a look at that in a bit. There we are. Hello, Karen. Jackie, hello to you. Oh, Frank has had a hip hop. You're hip hopping. That could be quite trendy, you know. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Claire. Angela's in Southern Ireland. We're busy for Sunday, aren't we? I'm normally here on a Saturday morning, as you probably know, so it's quite nice to... Oh, church bells are late, aren't they? 4 minutes. It's quite nice to be here on a Sunday morning for a change. Anyway, raining in Stoke. Oh, I hope it doesn't come over this way, Diana. Keep it over that side of the country. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jan. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Yasmin. In Germany. How many have we got? Where are we? 185 and 149. Not bad for a Sunday morning, is it? Hi, Ellen. Hi, Patricia. And Sue. And Debbie from Debbie. Hi, Jen. Oh, Grandma Day was lovely. Yeah, it was just so nice. It was nice. It was cold, but it was nice that they could play outside as well. Dave's got a trampoline in the garden, and they had friends over, and it was, yeah, they all had a really nice time. It was lovely. And my little grandson's walking. Well, he's running. You know what he reminds me of? Is it The Incredibles, where they're all superheroes, and it's the little one that's like fire, and he dashes around all over. That's what my little 1-year-old is like. He's just everywhere, and it's lovely when he does that. But he does that to be picked up because then he wants his dad over here. But lots of cuddles yesterday. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Anne. Morning, Dorothy. Wet and windy in East London. Oh dear. Sunny in Stockholm. Dawn's in Ashbourne. I've been to Ashbourne for a long time. Morning, Dorothy. The wind is howling in London, but the rain has stopped. Oh, good. So if you just come along, raggy quilting, which again you might have seen before. I haven't seen one made into a cushion cover, to be fair, so it's nice to take a technique that you might have recognised and do something a little bit different with them. Sunny says Anne. Morning, Jeanette. Now the fabric that I've used kind of makes this a little bit special. It's the Art Gallery Fabrics flannelette that we've got on the website. It's just so incredibly soft. So this is going to be a fabric that the little ones are going to cuddle up to, like this one's going to be. Need to make 3 of these. It just makes it even more special. And this effect, as you've probably seen it before, is it happens when you snip into the fabric, and then this has just been washed once. So the more you wash it, the softer it's actually going to get. Actually, I might have to make 4 of these because I think somebody's got a beady eye on it. Hello, sweetie. Are you going to stay with us today? Bit tired? We were up early this morning, weren't we? We got up at 5 o'clock this morning, didn't we? We couldn't sleep, could we? Hey, Bob. Hello, pretty. Hello. Hello. Anyway, that's a little bit of puppy indulgence for you. Hello, Michelle in France. Morning, Debbie. Hi, Carol, and another Debbie. We've got lots of Debbies today. I had a lovely day yesterday. Thank you, Alison. I'm all grandma'd out. My favourite word and my favourite pastime is just being grandma. I had a lovely grandma day. Thank you, my Julie. Christine in Cumbria, who's got a new granddaughter called Sophie, grandchild number 9. Congratulations, Denise. Right, I've got some new fabrics to show you, and I've got some back in stocks as well. Before we get on with that, while we're just waiting for everyone to come, do you remember the rainbow tartan fabric that I made the bag out of 2 squares of fabric with a few weeks ago? We do have this back in stock again, and it's actually been really, really busy for it. It's not heavy like you expect a tartan to be. It's like a twill, but it's a lightweight twill, and I'll show you that way. I'm thinking I'd like to make a skirt out of it with a really, really full skirt, because it's just got a lovely drape to it. So yeah, so that's back in stock. But also breaking news. Do you remember this one from last Wednesday? We sold out within an hour of launching it. We got it back. It's the butterflies and flowers, and this is the lightweight canvas. So I wouldn't make a blouse out of it, but you could make a skirt or trousers. But I'm thinking homewares and cushion covers and seat covers and curtains, because it's a really strong fabric. Now I've actually got twice as much in stock as we did last week, and we had a lot then. So if you did miss out last week, and I had complaints, sorry about that. But yeah, it did go within the hour. So if you missed out last week, then don't come complaining when it goes again. I'm doing my best to try and keep up with the orders for this. Isn't it pretty? Matches my jumper. But I'm thinking, oh, if you're revamping your, I don't know, your conservatory, your dining room for springtime, and you just wanted something a little bit more pretty and colourful, then you've got it there. Oh, Jenny Rose can send me a message if she likes. Hi Andrea, hi Leanna. Andrea's just gone out to her sew shack. It's freezing. Oh, it's lovely here. It's windy in Workington, says Christine. Oh, hi Zell. Did you have a nice meal on Friday and take your new clutch bag? No, we didn't go out after all. Gary thought he'd booked the restaurant, and it turns out it wasn't. So we didn't have date night. I didn't get a new frock, and I didn't use my clutch bag. So we've rescheduled. New to the channel, adore little girl dresses. Oh, now then, I've had loads of questions about this, and I forgot. That was made by Anne Charles, one of my design team, and I thought she'd made it up, but I did ask her the other day, and she says it's a butterick pattern, but I can't remember what the number is. So I shall put it on my Facebook page. I don't think I can put that. I mean, could I put it? I can send a message on YouTube if you're interested, but I'll put it on my Facebook page. I'll put a story about that. Hailstone, says Zoe in Rustrick. Where's Rustrick? Not heard of that one. Hello Irene. A taupe safari back in stock. No, at the moment we can't get hold of that, Melissa. Missed you, Debbie. Morning. Oh, morning. You've missed me. Well, you missed me yesterday. Wish I was a grandma. My kids haven't given me any yet. Just a grandbaby sausage dog. Well, that'll do for now. The nice thing with the puppies is they don't kind of grow up and leave home, do they? They're always with you. Do you want to see some new fabrics? Lots of new fabrics. So, while we're in the mood for butterflies, how about this one? And I'm just checking onto the website. Blue Butterflies cotton. It's 100% cotton, 112 wide, and it's just, oh, that feels really nice. That's a lovely cotton. £4.50 for half a metre, and it's if you order more than one, they all come joined up together, if that makes sense. So if you wanted to make a dress out of it and you needed 2 metres, just order 4, and those all come together. Oh, now then, we do have another canvas for you. We did have this a while ago, and it seems that our suppliers have got it back in stock again. It's one of my favourites. I wanted to make a Roman blind out of this one. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks like watercolour flowers. I should double check the name of that for you. Large flower canvas. So again, it's the lightweight canvas. It's not like the canvas that you paint on and put in frames and things like that, but it's a good strong fabric, so it's perfect for bag making as well. Then we're going to move on to cars. And this is nice. In the kids' bedroom, maybe cushion covers or clothes out of that would be really nice as well. And this one I can't find, just bear with me a second. On the Road in grey cotton. Oh, talking of greys, we've got a plain grey for the, oh, that goes really well. I've got a plain grey homespun cotton, first time we've had that colour in. So we have got, actually, if you have a look on the website on debbieshawsewing.com, there's quite a few plain fabrics in lots of different shades of different colours as well. So if you wanted blenders and things to mix with your patterns, then have a look. We've got loads on there. And don't forget to use your discount code if you're a member of the Half Yard Club. And if you're not sure where to find it, take a look on the Half Yard Sewing. Oh, can I just explain as well? On the Half Yard Sewing Club website under About Me, or it's on the blog, or it's somewhere there anyway. I've had quite a few messages going to the Half Yard Club team about things that we're selling on the website. The two websites are completely separate. So there's the Half Yard Club team, the girls there deal with all of those emails and any issues and things like that, and the promotions and all of that. They run the Half Yard Club down in Tunbridge Wells. So if a message comes through specifically for me, then it does go to them, but they forward it to me. But if it's anything to do with my shop website, the Debbie Shaw Sewing website, could you message the website, not the Half Yard Club? Because they don't always pick up the emails and send them straight over. There could be a little bit of a delay there. So it's easier if they come directly to me rather than the other website, if that's okay. Don't know where Lisa is today. I think she's okay. She did know it was Sunday, but she hasn't said she wasn't going to be here, but maybe she's having a family day. Not sure. It would make a lovely play mat. That's a good idea. And more for the kids. My granddaughter Vienna would love this. She was dressed in dinosaurs yesterday. And it's nice because it's quite small as well, so if you've got a smaller project going on. I mean, you can use cotton for the cushion. It just isn't as soft as the flannelette. But that would look really nice on a raggy cushion like that, and again really simple to make. And again, it's only £4.25 for half a metre. Then this is a pretty one. I like to think of these kind of colours for flowers as a little bit trans-seasonal, because it's floral, but it's not pink and pastely and too pretty. If that makes sense, but it is pretty. That's lovely. That one is called, where are you? Denim Blue Floral Cotton. So it is cotton, but the colour's called Denim Blue. Sarah, if I was making a blind, I'd use one of the lightweight canvases and line it as well, so it makes it really nice and heavy. You could use cotton, but the sun may shine through unless you use a blackout fabric. And remember, with blackout fabrics, they do come in colours. I tend to use white blackout fabrics, but they're quite heavy. So you want to keep the drape. You don't want it kind of being flimsy. It's nice to have something solid. So personally, I would use one of the lightweight canvases that we have. Actually, I was going to do a Roman blind video using the Flamingos canvas that we've got on the website. I've been trying to get around to doing that for about a year. Morning, Mum and Pop Quilt Shop on the east coast of Nova Scotia. What time is it over there? Leslie's making brunch. Oh, that's a bit posh, isn't it, Leslie? Where else are we? The best probably well. How's that? Right, catching up. One more fabric. Oh, and then something else to show you. This is like, I don't know if you called it batik. No, it's called Raindrops, but it's not batik. But it looks a little bit like that, doesn't it? So it's got that kind of feel to it. That would make a nice blender. If you don't want something plain, that would be fabulous. Now, that's the last of the new fabrics that we have for you. Yeah, Laura, I have got a... oh, did you get my message, by the way? Felt awful. There is a Roman blind video on there. I just think, some of these videos on YouTube are quite old, and as time goes by, I think I could improve on that. The only problem I have is I haven't got a window here. I've got a window there, and I've got a window over there, so I need to turn everything around so I can film next to the window. And haven't got round to it yet. Hi, Chris. Yes to the Roman blind. Yes to the Roman blind. Oh, you're talking to each other, lovely. Rainy in Sheffield. Now then, this is something new. We've actually got hexagon shape, pre-cut hexagon shapes, and the fabrics are art gallery fabrics for four of them. Yeah, and there's 6 pieces of each of them. So those 4 are the art galleries, and then there's a coordinating brush blender. So you've got 36 pieces there in total. 36 pieces, if you look at the picture on the website, covers like a, I think it's just a little bit more than a fat quarter. So if you think, what can I make with 36 hexagon pieces? Something about that big. So you can go for more packs if you want to make something bigger. But I'm going to be sewing with these on Wednesday with Y seams. And I'm just going to make a makeup bag out of them, but it'll be more about how to sew the Y seams on a hexagon and how to put them together. So the measurements are 2 inches across here. So if you see a hexagon measurement, that's where it's being measured. And I think that's 3 inches that way. I call it 4 inches, can't remember. But if you need a hexagon template for anything, then that's normally where you'd measure them. So that would be, yeah, 4 inches across that way, 3.5 that way, but that's the measurement of the hexagon, which is 2 inches that way. So yeah, I think I might do a little bit of hand cut. I'll do a YouTube video for that as well. So that's going to be Wednesday. There will be more of these coming in as well. I just think it's really nice to have that perfect shape without having to, you know, draw around templates and cut out templates and then risk not getting the perfect size there. A Y seam, Deirdre, is where you put 3 pieces together. So it's the letter Y, not the question. And it's that shape, so in that effect, that's the Y shape there. So I'll show you that on Wednesday anyway, but that's the shape that it makes, and that's where the Y seam is going to be. But that's on Wednesday. Only 1 pack, so I'm just going to make a makeup bag with it, so you'll probably have a little bit left over as well. These are perfect for English paper piecing as well. Now you'll need that's 2 inches. Let me just measure. I think you'll need a 1 inch. Do you need a 1 inch for that? We need a 2 inch. Or a 1 and 3. Do you know, I can't remember. What size would you need to go in there? 1 3/4 inch paper pieces if you wanted to use these for English paper piecing. Haven't got those, we've just got the shapes coming in. We'll be getting these in different fabrics as well, but Art Gallery fabrics, if you weren't aware, are such beautiful premium quality fabrics. So you're going to have a lovely project with those. And it's a little bit like when I put had the kits put together for that cushion. And I was saying last week, if you were to buy all of those different fabrics, I think there were 5, I can't remember, 5 different prints of fabrics, you'd be buying, from me anyway, 1/2 metre, and that takes nowhere near 1/2 metre. So if you buy a kit, you get what you need and not all of the excess fabric that you might not want. And that's a little bit the same with these, isn't it? Because you've got 6 pieces there, and I said they amount to around about maybe a little bit bigger than a fat quarter, but to achieve that you'd need to buy 6 fat quarters, 5 fat quarters. So again, you're going to have some left over that you might not need. That's the method in my madness. Amanda's done a block of the month after the stream. Oh, Amanda, we were on a go slow this morning on the computer, so rag cushion, Janet. Yeah, I think we're okay now. Well, we are okay now. Everything's going out okay. Elaine's made rag quilts before, but never thought about throw pillows. We're getting started on them for gifts this year. I think they're so much fun to make, and perfection isn't important. Matching points isn't important. And I'll tell you what I've used. Should we do it? I'll tell you what I've used for this as well. The half hexagon cushion. They're a bit small, a bit smaller than the half hexes. Those are a 3 inch. So, but you could, you'd make them smaller, and you'd probably have 1, 2, 3, maybe 9 panels, be a bit bigger than that. If you wanted to keep them even, because they're not going to make up 5.5 inch square blocks when the hexagons are a bit smaller, so you have to make up more blocks, but that would be very nice. Hello, Kathy in California. They are 2 inch hexagons, yes, Laura. So 2 inches across the straight side. The block of the month. Oh, Lisa's doing the block of the month now. Okay. Right. Now I've cut out my square. There will be a video for this. I've actually been filming this morning, so I'll carry on with that after the end of the live, and that will be uploaded shortly. Right, just need to, I can't remember what the measurements were. So the squares, upside down, 5-inch squares. And this is what I've done with them. So I've put them together. I've got loads of them. I've got enough to make loads of these cushions. Put them together in groups of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm lining that. There's 9 piles of these, and I'm lining them up all in the same order. So I've got rainbows, peach, check, mustard. Sounds like one of those games that you used to play in skipping when you were a kid. Rainbows, plain, check, mustard. So 4 of those. I'll put all the measurements, because I can't remember off the top of my head, in the description box underneath the YouTube video when that's uploaded, which should probably be, might be a couple of hours or so. It takes ages to render these things, but I shall get onto it as soon as we've finished here. So 4, there we go. And again, you need 9 sets. And then on the back, I have put a zip on the back, but I put it in between the squares. So if I put it right down the middle, it's going to spoil the design a bit. So I wanted to keep that pretty much invisible, which is why I put it to one side like that. So you will need 9 squares for the back as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Mandarin Georgia. And 1. Oh, I've got them all a bit mixed up now. That's me wadding. So 1, and peach. It's nice, isn't it, Amanda? It is a collection, so I haven't put these colours together myself. It's a collection from Art Gallery Fabrics of the flannelette. It's lovely stuff. It reminds me of pyjamas when I was a kid. Or flannelette sheets, do you remember that? I can remember flannelette sheets, and then my mother went through a phase of bri nylon, and they were so static, but you didn't have to iron them, so that's why she bought them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how far we'll get with this, but again, they're putting the zip in and doing the back and finishing it all off, all on the video that's going up later on. Cheddar cushions. Oh, it does look a bit like that, doesn't it? The kind of cheese you put on burgers. Oh, Donna's had a new granddaughter. Or is it a daughter? Oh, new grandchild yesterday. Congratulations. Just waiting for it to come home. Oh, 45 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 fives, 9 fours. 9 fours are 45. Is that right? Yeah. So 45 squares in total, then another 9 for the back. So if you chop up 55, you'll have 1 spare. Bright orange sheets. So I don't think my mother hasn't really bothered about colour schemes or anything. Hello, Manahil. Right, now what I'm going to do now is to move them around a bit. So that one I'm going to put 1 on the bottom. That one I'm going to go 1, 2, and this one 1, 2, 3. So they're all kind of changing around. And then 1 on the bottom, 1, 2 on the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Have I done that right? Looks about right. No, that doesn't look right, does it? We'll have that on the top. I'm trying to mix them up, really, because I'm thinking if you were going to make a quilt out of these, I'm trying to mix them up so the bottom ones aren't the same next to each other, and the top ones aren't the same next to each other. So it worked before when I did that. So 1 under there. Oh, there we go. 2 under there. 3 under there. That makes more sense. I've just got them mixed up in the middle a bit. So then I've got the different colours on the back and the different colours on the top. So that works. That doesn't. So I'll need, let's put a rainbow on the bottom there. It doesn't matter which ones go in the middle, as long as the top and the bottom are going to be a bit different. And I think we'll have a rainbow on the top there. That one there. Does this make sense, what I'm trying to do? And there, that'll do. Okay, so they're all different. They're all different on the top, different on the bottom. Doesn't matter what order they're going to go on the inside. Is it? Honestly, 40. Of course it's 36. You wouldn't believe I'm a Mensa member, would you? So do 45 altogether. Of course. So I'm thinking ahead what I'm doing here and not adding up my maths properly. Honestly. Not miss very much, Katie. Kate, sorry, making this. Yes, 45 squares altogether is what I meant. Then I've got 9 squares of wadding, and these are cut to 9-inch square, and I've used the 80/20. So if you don't have any, it's the crib size I'm using here that we've got on the website, to be fair. So because those are an inch shorter, you have a 1/2 inch border all the way around the edge. Now if you're making a cushion cover, you don't really need this. I did use them in here, and it does give it such a softness. It makes the top really thick. It's not included in the fringing. That's why you cut them a little bit shorter, but it's not 100% necessary if you're making a cushion cover. If you're making a quilt, then I would definitely use the wadding in the centre. And to be honest, if you're making a cushion cover, you could get away with 3 squares instead of 4 for each one of these, so just use 3 fabrics, because you've got, you know, it doesn't matter if this is thin. It's nice if it's thick, but it doesn't matter if it's thinner. And if you're making a quilt, the bottom one of these needs to be right side down. So like that would go that way. It doesn't matter so much on the cushion cover because you're probably not going to see inside it. But if you're going to use this technique for quilting, you will see the back of it. So it's quite nice to have them all the right way round. So arranging all of these so the bottom ones aren't the same. Doesn't really matter with a cushion cover, but I just think if you're quilting, then that's quite important. Right, then we're going to take each one of these, and I'm going to use a bit of spray. Don't have to, but I'm going to, just in the middle. Don't spray right up to the edge because we're going to cut through that, and we want it to fluff up nicely. Then I'm going to lay these together. So 2 together, squirt in the middle, and then place your wadding in the centre. Another little squirt, and then the next 2 go on top. And oh, I'm running out of that. There we go. And we need to do that with all 9 pieces. So a bit of a squirt. Don't worry about the squirting, but if you're going to pick these up and kind of move them to one side, it does help to keep everything together. So, oh no, I didn't want that one there. I wanted that one there. And then that one there. So the wadding go, oh, wrong way around, that's stuck to me, not the fabric. So wadding goes right in the middle. And again, we need to do this with every single piece. So again, I'm going to load the video and I'm bashing on about it, but if you don't get a chance to put the zip in and do the back of it, then that's all on the video, right from scratch, and how to do it. So that and that, bit of that. Teresa, it's an ODIF 505 spray. It's a repositionable spray adhesive, so you can, it sticks things together, but then you can peel them apart, and it disappears after a while. If you don't, it'll wash out. But if you don't wash it out, it will disappear. It's a temporary basting spray. And I use an awful lot of it, which is why I've got the big can. But it's really handy for quilting projects if you don't want to pin or hand tack your pieces together. Normally you spray a little bit further away with it. It's recommended, I think, about 8 to 12 inches. But I don't have that much space at the moment, so it's a little bit closer. You could use fusible fleece, Caroline. I'd maybe use that for a cushion cover. It's not as soft for a quilt. So it depends what your usage is going to be. All right. Don't understand why is the spray very cold? Sprays always are, aren't they, Ellen? I don't know why that is. Andrea's just thumbed up. Oh, okay. Thank you. Square there, that in the middle. It is actually quite quick. I know you're watching me doing a lot of spraying, which I suppose I could have done before, but I just wanted to make it last a little bit longer. Oh, look at me dog. She's completely out of it. Head hanging over the edge, like she's spilt off her sofa. Oh. Just saw the other thumb. Oh, am I getting thumbs up? Thank you very much. Oh, no, oh, lots of thumbs up. Thank you. Oh, wadding. Oh, I thought I hadn't brought it all down with me. That goes on there. And there. It looks so sunny outside. We're going to have a nice long walk later on, I'm thinking. Still really muddy though, that's the only thing. Oh, getting a bit blocked up. Right, 3 more to go, and then we'll start to put this thing together. So I'm keeping them all in order. That's important really, is it? For this one, Sarah, I will put the sewing supplies that I've used on the YouTube video when I've finished doing this. I always put in the description box which fabrics I've used, where you get them from, and what I've actually used for these as well. So if you wanted to get ahead of the game and use this exact fabric, it is the Art Gallery flannel fabric on my website, debbieshawsewing.com, which won't be coming back in stock when it sells out, I have to say. Yeah, we got up really early this morning, so that's why she's zonked. You know, some days you just can't sleep, and I don't like lying in bed if I can't sleep. It's not productive, so get up and do some work. Oh Mel, this is the easiest way of quilting, honestly, and it is so quick, but it looks really nice as well. And you wadding, got the wadding, and you don't have to do huge quilts out of it, which is quite nice. Even if you're making this for a child, you know, it's something that they can carry around with them, so a big quilt might not be suitable for that kind of thing anyway. Janet making a raggy cushion cover, but I thought, yeah, it's a technique that's been around for a long time. It's no invention of mine that I can take the credit for, but it's just nice to take these techniques and do something different, isn't it? Hello, sweetie. Just woke up. Right, almost there. Okay. Need a new one of those. Then, so that's my 9. And I'm going to sew diagonally across them. I've already got one done here, actually. So from corner to corner, but I'm stopping 1/2 inch from the edge. I'm not sewing right up to the point there. So that's one done, isn't it? Have I got one to replace that one? That on the top, that on the bottom. That will do that. Okay. So let's do that with the rest of them. Now I'm going to lengthen the stitch a little bit as well, because when you're sewing through lots of layers like this, it sometimes tends to slow the machine down a bit, and that makes the stitches shorter in turn. So I'm going up to 2.8 on this one. So don't bother measuring your 1/2 inch from the end. It's kind of where the end of the wadding is, and then go in the opposite direction. And if you wanted to be exact with this, I know a lot of you like perfection. You can actually measure and mark that cross shape to go across here, but I'm not going to for this one. I think that's fine. And it doesn't matter if it's not absolutely perfect. I think that's the thing with quilts like this, because it's frayed and it's raggy. It doesn't matter if your stitches aren't straight, it doesn't matter if your points don't meet. Let's have the zip neat on the back. But it's such an easy and quick thing to make. Okay, 1, 2, 3. See how quickly it's going together already. And I was saying earlier, that's why I've kept all of the fabrics different on the back and the right side down. A lap quilt would be lovely, and it's nice and weighty with so much fabric as well. I mean, the flannelette is quite heavy fabric anyway, but 4 layers of it and with the wadding in the centre gives it a nice weight. So it's not as heavy as a weighted quilt, but it is kind of quite comforting when you've got something that's a little bit weighty on your lap, isn't it? And that's for anybody. No, this isn't just for kids to snuggle up to, that's for anybody, isn't it? Can you use a glue pen instead of spray? You can do. Not sure about glue pens on wadding, you'll have to have a test of it. But you might find that you're using quite a lot of it. A walking foot would help, Rosina, yes. I do have one for this machine, but the machine that I use in the studio has a built-in walking foot, and I keep forgetting to actually put it on these. Yes, I am doing a reverse stitch to hold the stitches at the end of here. The only time I don't do a reverse stitch, who was that? Sorry, you disappeared just as I was reading it. Anne, the only time I don't do a reverse stitch is if I'm sewing a seam that goes into another seam. That makes sense. So if I was sewing a sleeve into a dress, for instance, I wouldn't backstitch underneath the arm here, because that's going to go into another seam around here. But so that's just my choice. Oh, Angela's got a new sewing machine. Oh. Do you have a Sunday roast? No, I don't, Sally. I'm a vegetarian. I had a nut roast, which my son made for me on Christmas Day, but we don't really do Sunday dinner. We don't really do dinners together like that. We eat when we're hungry. It's always been like that. So it's very rarely, unless it's a special occasion, do we sit down and have dinner together. So I've had breakfast this morning rather early, and then I might get hungry again about 3 or 4 o'clock and have something else then. It's just the way we are. Yes, Teresa, we're not normally live on a Sunday, it's normally a Saturday. So it's nice to have so many of you on a Sunday morning popping up. One more to go. Oh, Janet's found out how you can watch me on YouTube via your new FreeSat box. Okay. This slept in 7:30, so it's going to go back to the beginning. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, Alison, the dress behind me is a butterick pattern. I did ask Anne, who made it, what the pattern number was, and then I forgot to bring it down with me. So I shall let you know. I should put a post on Facebook and let you know the pattern number. Hello, Eileen, watching for the first time. She's bought a new machine yesterday and can't wait to get started as well. Uni new machines. I'm just going to trim off the end bits. So I've got all 9 of those all kind of quilted. So it is a quilt as you go technique, because that's all quilted now. I don't have to go back again. Now you don't have to go corner to corner. If you preferred, you could do a flower or a heart, or I think it needs something, because this is going to go through the wash, and we need to have all of those layers well and truly held in place. But you could do a little squiggle or initials would be nice. You could do that. You could put a little piece of applique in the middle of those if you wanted to. Okay, then we're going to sew these wrong sides together, which feels a little bit alien, and I also have to double check. So wrong sides together, and with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So basically where the edge of that wadding is, we're just going to run the stitch along the edge of there. I'm just having a look if I've got, yes, I have got my walking foot. Let's put this on, because I think that would help. So if you haven't used a walking foot before, don't rush out and buy one just for a project like this, but if you're going to be doing a lot of quilting or curtain making or sewing through thick fabrics, then these are really useful to have.
Latte, my love.
Latte? I hope not. Thank you.
I could have put them on one of these, couldn't I?
No. Have you seen my dog? So a walking foot has a, you know, the feed teeth that are underneath your sewing machine that feed your fabric through from the bottom, and these have got like little teeth on the top that feed it through from the top at the same time. So this bar here needs to sit on top of your needle clamp, and as the needle goes up and down, you can see those little white teeth there bouncing up and down at the same time. So with lots of layers of fabric like this, it helps to stop them slipping and moving. Or if you're using, or if you're making something like a pair of curtains, you've got a larger project with having a stretch, with a heavier fabric and then a lining fabric which is a lot lighter, you can find that they slip as you're sewing. So this is a great way to stop that. This machine actually came with one. But again, if it's just one project you're making, they're about £30, they're a fortune, so I wouldn't buy one just for one project. But yes, Karen, make sure it's on properly. So you'll need to take the ankle off. So most of the time these unscrew. So that's your foot, that's your ankle. You'd expect that to be called the leg, but it's the take-up lever. And don't lose this because you'll never get your feet back on again otherwise. And then pop that down. This fits around the take-up lever in the same way, but you need to make sure that this bar is sitting on top of your needle clamp. So I'll just move that out of the way so I can get that on, and then so you can see. So when, again, the needle goes up and down, that bar bounces up and down as well. Let's stick this back in again. It's always a bit tricky. I'm going to turn the sewing machine round actually when let me do that. When I'm doing this, because I'm not very good at putting in screws with my left hand when I'm right-handed. I'm not very good at putting in screws, full stop. Need one of those magnetic screwdrivers, don't I? That would be handy. Talk amongst yourselves for a second while I try and get this thing on. I'll tell you what, once it's going on, it's not coming off again. Morning, Princess. Morning, Star. He's not taking orders for coffee today, he's going to the tip. It's the same when we have a fabric delivery and there's just boxes and boxes and boxes. So that's Gary's Sunday morning trip out. I don't know what a Brother XL 2230 is, Deanna. Has anybody else got one? She's asking if it's suitable for a beginner. To be honest, I think any sewing machine is suitable for a beginner. Even if you have, you know, a really complex machine with lots and lots of features, it still does a straight stitch. So, yeah, that's my opinion. So that's on there. Wrong sides together. My feet are burning down here, and I've got the heater on. It was freezing when I came down. And we're just going to sew from the 1/2 inch in again. Again, don't worry about that being exact. Oh, your walking foot will be a bit noisy as well. And don't worry if these edge bits don't line up absolutely perfectly every time. So that's the top side and that's the back side. I know, I said back side. And then let's sew these together, and we'll do those all in rows of 3. Again, I'm not measuring. I can feel where the wadding is, which is about the 1/2 inch. If you find as well, it happened in the video when I was making it, that you get a little crease in there, don't worry about it. Remember, this is going to go in the wash and end up like that. So don't worry if you do find a little crease or anything going on there. Right, so again, these are wrong sides together. I do have to check every time for that because it's odd, isn't it? It's a little bit alien sewing wrong sides together. Oh, thank you, Christina. I did. I was getting a little moppy last week, so I thought it was about time I got my barnet cut. Oh, look what I've done. 2 the same. Never mind, it's a cushion cover. You're not going to notice. Right, let's do that. No, oh no, Nikki, sorry, I didn't see your question, whoever that was. Flannelette, it's brushed cotton, basically. So it's just a really, really soft fabric. You can use it for whatever you'd normally use cotton for. It's just brush, so it's just really, really soft. And of course you can use cotton. So I'm going to have to switch the heater off, bear with me. You can use cotton for this as well. I was just thinking it would, Rosina, some poly cotton. You could do, it's nice, if you're mixing fabrics, it's nice to have the same weight of fabric. So if your poly cotton's the same weight as the cotton, then that would be fine. You just want a fabric that's going to fray, so don't choose a non-woven. Like felt, because that doesn't fray, it's not going to work. Combine harvest, yes, it is a little bit like a combine harvester. Yeah, the fabric scraps definitely. Actually, because you've got fabric on the inside of this, if you have got some fabrics that you don't like very much, you know, when you buy, if you buy a charm pack or fabric packs like that, and most of the fabrics you really like and there's one or two in there that you don't, stick them in the middle. You're only going to see the edge bits of them, and you don't have to kind of have a mixture of different prints either. There's no reason why you couldn't just use one plain fabric. Janice, yeah, it's always fiddly putting on a walking foot, so it's quite nice to show that, isn't it? Just going to sew these together in rows of 3. And yeah, just like before, I'm doing them 1/2 inch in Anne. Now when you come to the seams, it doesn't really matter, you can squish them in opposite directions, squish them open, because we're going to snip into that anyway. Just get a bit thick there, you might need a denim needle. So I'm going to squish them in opposite directions just because it's easier. Right, that's a funny noise. That's because I've run out of bottom thread. Bear with me a second. My walking foot bar was put on wrong and I just sat there wondering what took an age for it to be clear. Yeah, it doesn't work unless it's on properly. Not going to bounce up and down. Annabelle, now the only difference is it's noisy, so you can leave it on all the time. I would double check if you're using decorative stitches. So if you've got, I mean, you can use mine with a zigzag stitch, no problem. But do check if you're using a decorative stitch that the hole in the walking foot is wide enough for the needle to swing from one side to another. Should be, but it's always worth kind of double checking that. So choose your decorative stitch, and then turn the hand wheel towards you slowly and just make sure it's not going to hit the side of the foot. That's a funny noise, isn't it, Bob? That woke her up. Oh, Ellen's going to have toast. See ya. Enjoy your toast. Having a stretch, puppy? Are you going as well? Oh, nice. Do your dogs do that? Going down the stairs. She'll stand at the top step and then walk about 3 or 4 steps down and then really stretch out. I thought that must be such a nice feeling. Air sewing is the worst. So who's that? Sorry, Leanna. No, it wasn't. Mum and Pop Quilt Shop. It's such a waste of time. You know, when you're sewing away and you don't realise you've run out of bottom thread. How doing things twice? Is that, you know, when you miss the junction on the motorway and you have to travel 10 miles before you can turn around and come back in. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. Right, it's starting to get a bit lumpy now. That's fine. Oh, let's show you the finished size of this as well. Can't remember. Again, this will be in the instructions on the video. 12 inches. I've got a 12-inch cushion pad inside there. So if you wanted to go bigger, then sew more together. Oh, Patsy, sorry about that. I was having Grandma Day yesterday, and they couldn't change it to Sunday, so I did. Just make sure they're going in the same direction. Doesn't. In fact, let's do the opposite. It doesn't really matter. Still stretching. I've never known a dog stretch so much. Hello. Back to bed. You're showing us your bum a lot, kid. No, she is. Hello. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to see that. She's got an itch. It's 7:57 in Western Australia, PM. Or is it PM? Good evening. So there. So that's how the top's looking. And again, I don't know how I've got those in the wrong order. Very much in the wrong order, not paying attention. So do make sure if you're making a quilt that these, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? But if you can avoid having two together the same, I think if I just switched that round, that would have done it, wouldn't it? Then that would work. So that's what the back of your quilt's going to look like. And again, it is quite nice, thick and heavy. That's what the top's going to look like. Where are we? 10 to 12. Should we stay a little bit longer and get this zip done? Now you can snip this now, you can snip it later, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to snip around the edge at the moment because I am going to put a cushion back on here. I might need to put the other foot back on to put this zip in, but I'll just snip into these. Now you've got a lot of thickness of fabric. That's you know, over 1/4 of an inch in thickness, which is quite chunky. You could use the same on the back, Zal. I've found even with my best scissors, I can't cut through that snipping up to the end. Maybe yours can, mine can't. So I'm just snipping further down. I'm not worried about measuring, just snipping into that seam. But they're around about 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre apart. So I'm not cutting through the stitches, I'm cutting up to the stitches. And this is what's going to help it go all fluffy and bobbly and knotty when it goes into the washing machine. So we'll do this around all the sides and then we'll get the back put on. Got an itchy face now? Are you having a wash? What are you doing? Funny, aren't they? Always at my side, that one. Wherever I go in the house, right at my side all the time. It's lovely. Claire prefers Sunday. She's got more time to watch. I don't mind either day, to be honest. Right, so again, just cutting into the seam all the way around. So right down the middle ones as well. Yep, okay then Denise, we shall put, it's ever such a simple way of putting the zip in. So that there's nothing technical about this at all. Alright. And again, because it is going to be all fluffed up when it goes in the washing machine, it doesn't matter if this is a little bit knotty, it doesn't matter if your seams aren't perfectly straight, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with this one. And it's a nice quick project as well if you're if you've got something kind of on the go. Oh, she's off. And you wanted a quick, you know, if you're making a quilt or you're making a dress and it's taken a few days to make it, but you just want to get something done. And it is a nice way to use smaller pieces of fabric as well. And particularly, I mean, the 5-inch squares, so if you've got a charm pack, then it's that right kind of size. Right, that's gone a little bit fluffy already. These are, remember, cut on the grain of the fabric, so you will get some shredding. It will happen, and that's great. That's all part of it. If you don't want to put that in the wash straight away, then get a scrubbing brush and give it a good old scrub, and you'll get that fluffy effect going on straight away. But we're going to do the back of this now. So take another 9 squares of fabric. Hello, puppy. Hello. And again, I'm stuck that one together. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Oh, here we are. I'm running out of the printed ones. I thought I'd cut lots. That'll do. And there. And we'll have one of those there. And maybe no, I won't do that. Maybe I'll do that and then have that one there. Okay. And this time I'm going to sew those two, those two, those two, and then that one, and that's where the zip's going to go. H200, yes, for dressmaking, that one, Lavinia. Sorry, I missed that, whoever asked the question. That's perfect for collars and plackets and pockets and things like that. I don't know, Shirley. I'm going to have a go with my walking foot. I don't see why not. Now these are going to go right sides together, but with the same 1/2 inch seam allowance. So the back's going to end up the same size as the front. So just move those out of the way and do this. And I'm just going to put the iron on. I'm taking the stitch back down to 2.4 now. I'm sewing a proper seam. So let's pop you there and plug you in. Oh, I didn't see the question about the City and Guilds course, but I don't know anything about those, I'm afraid, whoever that one was. Never done one. Right. I'm skipping with this now. So right sides together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So again, yes, you can. Oops. Oh, that went wobbling. Use your walking foot. So I was bobbing. I was switching cameras as I was sewing, so I've got a wobbly bit there, so I'll need to unpick that. If I can find my unpicker. Which I know I said before, I very rarely use my unpicker, so I don't know where it is. If you believe that, you believe anything. Here we go. Actually, the unpicker is one of my favourite tools in my sewing box. I don't relish the time when I need to get it out and use it, but at least it makes a quick work of unpicking stitches. That's better. Yeah, just want a little bit wobbly. So you won't be swapping cameras when you're doing this at home. Right, so 1 and 2. Pay attention this time, Deborah. And hi, Lisa. And then this one. Now this isn't the most important thing to do, but it kind of is good form to press the seam of one block in one direction, so that one's going to that side, and then this seam in the opposite direction, so that's going to that side, and then this seam back to the first direction. Because when you nest the seams up together, so now we're going to sew these 3 rows. So I'm getting rather messy here, aren't I? Can you see what I'm doing? When you sew these pieces right sides together, the seams kind of butt up against each other, like so. So one seam facing that way, one seam facing that way, and it just makes it easy to match the point there. So the front of this cushion cover doesn't really matter, but it is quite nice to have your perfect points on the back, because that's going to be seen. So these 3 rows together in 3s, then we need to sew the remaining 3 pieces. A padded name bunting for a friend granddaughter, that's a lovely idea. And then the same with this one. So again, seams should be in opposite directions. Nest them up together and we'll sew. And if I was a professional patchworker, then that seam would now be pressed open. But I'm not fussed really. But that would be the idea, those now pressed open. And then we'll just sew these 3 pieces together. Morning, Maureen. So, what have we got? Oh. Lisa, we thought you might be having a family day or doing your Sunday dinner or something this morning. We missed you. I think people come on here to speak to you these days. It's funny, I was, me and Kim were at our, the company that we design fabric for. Kim's designing fabric, did I tell you? It's got her own fabric range. And she's getting quite well known in the sewing world, is my daughter. And Danny, who owns the company, actually said, do you know, we refer to you as Kimberly's mum now, instead of her being my daughter. I thought, she's taking over. I thought that was really sweet. I'm very happy to be Kimberly's mum instead of me being her mum. That makes sense. Oh no, Lisa's late because the washing machine flooded the kitchen. The place is in a state. Charlie was drinking soapy water, and oh gosh, the cat's been sick. Oh, Lisa. Well excused then. Oh gosh. Maureen, I couldn't make it yesterday, so I thought we'd change it for today as well, so we didn't miss the whole weekend of sewing. Right. So how much damage does he? You haven't got to have a new floor and all that kind of malarkey, have you? New washing machine. Are you insured? Right, so that's what we've got. And my zip's going to go in here. I haven't got the perfect colour zip, but you shouldn't see too much of it. And again, the zip, which is too long, always the case. Now I'm going to put these two pieces right sides together. Line this up as best I can. There's the clock 4 minutes late again. Can you hear that chiming? So I'll just put a couple of pins in here. There we go. And then I'm going to measure where my zip's going to go. So with a cushion cover like this, I'll put my scissors down somewhere, there we go. I can cut off the stopper at the end. With zips, letterbox zips, zips on bags and things like that, I often put in the tab on the end of a zip. I like to chop those metal bits off so I'm not going to hit them with the needle. If I'm sewing this into a dress, definitely not. You keep them on, otherwise the end of your zip's going to fly off the end of your dress, which isn't a good look. So I've just overlapped Facebook over the top of YouTube so I can't see it. So I'm going to position that where I want it to be. So it's about 1 inch, 2.5 centimetres from the top and about the same from the bottom. Chop that off. And then I'm going to sew, if I just get a pen. Here we go. I'm just going to mark just inside where the zip's going to go, about 1/2 inch at each end. And I'm going to sew with a regular length stitch to here, then back stitch, and then make a longer stitch. So I'll go up to the longest stitch that I have, down to here, back stitch, and then back to the smaller stitch there. Oh no, Lisa, is he all right? Do you have to get the vet out? Or is he all right now he's been sick? Shame. I'm going to make Victoria sponge after this. Oh, Sue, brilliant. It's not an unpicker, it's a stitch reverser. Good. Well, I should call it a stitch reverser from now on. What a good idea. So again, regular length stitch up to the mark, back stitch, up to the longest, so that's 5 on this machine, and down to the second mark, back stitch, back to the regular stitch length and up to the end. And then we're going to press this seam open. Elaine's camping, so there's no sewing. Save up your projects for when you get back then, won't you? So it presses nicely, this fabric. There we go. If you're using a fabric that doesn't press very well, then put a spray starch or dampen it or something. Oh, Lisa, how can a cat drink that much water anyway? It's soapy water. Ugh. Okay. Now the zip's going to go face down on top of that seam. I'm going to use a fabric glue pen if I can find it. I never move anything from here. I've got everything all around me that I would ever need apart from the one thing that I need. Here we go. And I'm just going to glue around where the zip's going to go with quite a generous dollop. If you don't have a glue stick, then I know it's more time consuming, but I would hand tack or base that. Because I find I'm not very accurate when I'm sewing around pins on things like this. So I'd pin it down to start with, like now, and then hand tack it. I'm just going to undo that zip a little bit and try and make sure that the zip coil is laying straight over the top of the seam, and try and make these bits meet as best you can around the zip slider. We are going to move that out of the way, so we've got accuracy. So again, let's push that down, give it a squish, and then we're going to sew from this side, because these are the stitches that you're going to see. So it may seem easier to sew from the other side, but you don't see that side, you do this one. And all custard on skin. Skin, I love skin on custard. I haven't had custard for years. Used to love, oh, my mum used to do that. And skin on rice pudding. Ooh, that was so nice. I remember when having that at school, they made really big, like enamel trays full of rice pudding, and they'd take the skin off it. I'll just have the skin. Love the skin on that. Right. So I'm going to try this with the where is it? Wrong seam. With the walking foot on, what I am going to do is to move the needle over to the left hand side, and just again turn the handle towards you to make sure that the needle's not going to hit the foot, and then we'll sew across and then start sewing down. Now when you come up to the slider, it is quite difficult to just sew all the way around it because it's a big lump. Here it is, look. So my machine is going to distort as it comes to it. So what I like to do is to lift the foot up, take my stitch reverser and unpick some of the seam here. We're going to unpick all of that anyway at some point, and then grab hold of the slider and push it out of the way. Did you see what I did there? Did I move that out of the way? So my slider's now here, and that means I can carry on sewing in a straight line without having to worry about wobbling around there. So I can feel where the end of the zip is because my mark's on the other side now, and come across and then back down this side. And again, when I get to where the slider is here, I can now move it back again so I'm not wobbling around it. And then quilter's tape would work just as well. I just happen to have loads of glue pens. And then we're going to unpick across the rest of the tacking stitches that I made. So you have lots of little bits of thread that you now need to pick off, and I'd love doing this. If you have, you know, those sticky lint roller things, if you have one of those, then that's a good idea to just run it over the top to get rid of those bits. And then down to that end. So that's my zip put in. And I haven't spoilt the shape of this by putting it to one side in the seam there. Right, then we'll sew this wrong sides together with the back of the cushion cover. So I will have a few pins in here to hold them together. I don't need the zip open because I'm not going to turn it through. Let's pop a few pins in here, make sure that's the right way up. And this one. So my coffee's going cold here, and I was looking forward to that. So bear with, I'm just going to have some coffee. Oh, Lisa sent me a picture of the cat with no ears. Oh, so sweet. Bless him. Oh, in you go. I think I've got a bit of glue on the end of my pin. I must have stuck it in the HT2 at some point. Right, now I'm going to trim this back a little bit because now I've put it together. The back of my cushion is slightly larger than the front. Maybe I didn't get the seam allowances exact. So I'm just going to trim this back here, like that. And like that. That's fine. And again, don't worry about this being perfect. I'm worried about that one. There we go. And then we're going to sew all the way around the edge. Nice to see you too, Leanne. I'll see you again Wednesday, hopefully. Are you going to say bye-bye? Bob, Bob, Bob. Hello, people are going now. Say bye-bye. Not really bothered. So again, just sew all the way around the edge. When I get to the seams, I'm just going to squish them open. Doesn't really matter. Might make it a bit easier to sew over them. And oh, I've got a pinch of fabric there. It just creased up a little bit as I went over it. Not bothered, because this is going to go all fluffy when I snip into it anyway. Oh, I'm glad you like the colours. Mama Pop Quilt Shop. So it is a collection, but they're the kind of colours that, you know, if you went into a quilt shop, you wouldn't necessarily put them together. But they really work. I think it's because they're the same kind of tone of shades. There's not one of them that really stands out against any of the others. They blend. Journey, we can make a reading pillow at some point. I think Kim's got one on her blog, and if you've got my Half Your Kids book, there's one in there as well, but that might be a nice project for next week maybe. I'm trying to get ahead with the projects. Remember, on Wednesday we're going to do something with hexagons from the new hexagon shapes that we've got on the website. It'll only be a makeup bag, but we are going to tackle the Y seams. Squish that open. And do a bit, I don't know how to quilt it. I'll have a think. Oh, I had a moment there that I thought I put the back on the wrong way round. Yeah, I made a bedtime, a reading pillow for half-year-old kids and hid the zip inside the pocket, if I remember rightly. I like to do some things. I like to do things a little bit different. No point in doing something that somebody else has already done because it's already been done. But it's nice to have a different take on things, isn't it? Okay, pins out, and that's the back, and that's the front. And then we're going to snip all the way around the edge. Not worried about that. You can trim that down if you want. Not too worried. It kind of goes very curly when you wash it, so really not bothered about that. Let's get in there. And around about 1/2 inch apart for your snips. Could be together, could be a little bit different. Don't bother measuring. There's a little crease, look. You're not going to see that. I'm not worried about that at all. When it all washes up and goes fluffy like this, you don't see those little imperfections. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Carol. Again, I will put the YouTube video up. I just need to edit it, render it, which I'm going to do straight after we're finished here. So all of your measurements for the cushion of this size is going to be on YouTube in the description box underneath video. If you wanted to make one any bigger, then just add more squares. I haven't worked out any other sizes. Then of course with a baby quilt you can go any size you like. It's down the centre here. Thought I'd snipped into the stitches, but I hadn't. Oh, Joan, I'm glad you liked them. Can we use a 2.5-inch hexagon template for the makeup bag on Wednesday? Yes, Laura, it'll be a little bit bigger than what I'm making. The hexagons I'm using are 2 inches, but I'm only making a makeup bag, so you'll just have one a bit bigger than the one that I'm making, which is fine. Almost there. What I can't do now is put this in the washing machine. Actually would be here for another hour or so, even on a quick wash for 58 minutes. But that's that bit done. So again, as you can see, zip's nicely hidden in between the blocks on the back. Just need to get all of these bits off. That goes in the washing machine, not on a particularly hot wash or anything like that. I just washed mine on a 30-degree wash and tumble dried it, and that's how it came out. The more you wash, the fluffier this is going to get. But again, using the flannel fabric, it's just so soft. The cushion pad was 12 inches for this one. Sorry, who's that? And Nikki. You can make the squares bigger if you've got a bigger cushion pad. You could add more. So just measure the size of your cushion pad and divide that by however many squares that you need, and then add 1/2 inch to each square. So my squares, I wanted 12 inches. So my squares are 5 inches, 5, 10, 15, but then you lose 1/2 inch off the edge of each piece, which brings the size of my squares down to 4 inches, 3/4, 12. So that's where you get the size from. So I'm good at maths after all. Oh, thank you, Rosina. Loving the Half Yard Sewing Club. Could you roll it up and rub it size on a cheese grater? Oh, I don't know if a cheese grater might be a little bit harsh, but you could use a scrubbing brush. I've not tried a cheese grater, to be honest. It's up to you, Gay, really. Personally, I'd do exactly the same if I was making a quilt as I've done here. So obviously you're not going to have the backing fabric on there, but I'd just snip into it. Sew all the way around the edge and then just snip into it. So that it'd look like that, wouldn't it? Look like that, but without the backing fabric on it. I'm glad you like it, Ali. Thank you. Oh, who's that? Sorry, over to you, physio. Oh, I'm sorry, you've gone. Was that Frankie? What's the brown fabric behind you by the dress? This one. That is my Birds and Bobbins fabric, which we have back in stock again now. That one, I'm presuming you mean. Whoops, that's my coffee gone. It's that one. And it's from I haven't got any more of the pieces here, but it's the Birds and Bobbins range. If you have a look on the website, we do have that back now. Okay, are we all up to date? So what are your plans for the rest of the weekend? Mind you, I normally say that on a Saturday. It almost is the end of the weekend now, isn't it? A book bag. Something to carry your paper back to the pool. That's a nice idea, Mel. I like that one. Sandra, where have you gone? Don't know what's going on over here. Everything on my screen is being shuffled around a little bit. I don't know why. So YouTube's ended up over there, and anyway. Karen, I'm glad you like it. Lovely Sunday morning, says Margaret. Thank you. Yes, I used 80/20. It was the heritage that we have on the website that I'm using here, but 80/20 is absolutely fine, and if it is going to be for somebody to cuddle, that means it's going to be nice and soft as well. Morning, Lenise. We'll see you again. Denim. Wouldn't be as soft, but denim would work really well. Denim frays really nicely. Oh, old denim jeans that are all faded. That would look amazing. What a good idea. Hello, Sue from Brisbane in Australia. Oh, I did that, didn't I? That's what I've done. I've moved myself out of the way. Is that better? It's like my PC's decided to shuffle the cards all over the place. Angela's enjoying the Half Yard Club too, so many projects to choose from, thank you. Can you sell flannel fat quarter packs? If you can find, I've never seen flannel fat quarter packs to be honest, Debbie, but we'll have a look. Hi Brian, who's going to have a go to try the pillow, thank you. Yeah, beanies were January's Half Yard Club project, and February's is the overarm caddy that you see down there. And then we've got a bow tie coming up halfway through the month. That was fun to make. That's a lot easier than I thought it to be. And next month you're saving your scraps. So we're going to be doing some crumb quilting, so scraps of fabric for next month. And I might make a doll's house. I'm getting way ahead. I shouldn't be telling you that far ahead because I change my mind sometimes. Okay, then I shall see you again on Wednesday afternoon when we're going to be using the, what have I done with them? The hexagon pieces. Here we go. Just to show you, it's not a sew along, so don't think you have to have them there. But these are the Art Gallery Fabrics hexagon pieces. They're 2-inch hexagons, and I'm going to be using those to sew together to quilt and to make a little makeup bag with them as well. Children's waistcoats now. There are things you need patterns for these things. Peggy, glad you like it. Diane's got a pair of father's jeans. She's going to make a keepsake Teggy. Cushions would be nicer to cuddle. That's true, Diane. That would be a lovely idea. So Jackie's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Jackie, for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to get off because I'm going to get this video done and get it onto YouTube. So that'll be on there in just a second. A suede brush would be good. That would work really well, wouldn't it? Particularly if you're using something like denim when it needs a good old scrub. So yeah, Wednesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If you can't join me, then join me again next Saturday, and I shall endeavour to do the reading cushion on Saturday morning if I get time to get that far ahead. So thank you for joining me today. It's been nice to have your company on a Sunday, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye bye.